G'day and welcome to the Grow a Small Business Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Truen. Each week, we speak with an owner who has grown a business with 5 to 30 team members to something bigger. Diving into their numbers and unearthing the pain they've experienced, we explore what they did to overcome each barrier and what they would do differently from day one. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to Benjamin Dennehy and our chat about sales objections and the art of cold calling. If you missed last week's podcast, I suggest you go back and listen to part 1 first. If you're sort of talking to a small business owner, and they say, well, okay, we'll understand that you got to sort of tackle the emotive side from a customer, client to ultimately buy. Have you got, say, what are the top 3 sort of tips, if you like, to sort of help them get there? And I appreciate there's, like you said, there's a lot more to it.
Oh, there's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So some fundamentals. And now this is the problem that most salespeople have, is they don't get this because we're all raised to be buyers, not sellers.
Mm.
You were raised and taught how to buy. So you watched your mum and dad. That's where you got this buying behavior. And your mum and dad always behaved the same way. They'd be in front of a salesman. They wouldn't tell the salesman the full truth. They'd tell them what they only wanted the salesman to hear. So you learn very quickly that you don't tell a salesman the truth. You only tell them what you think is relevant. And unless a salesman's good at getting the truth out of you, the salesman very, very rarely gets the truth. So the first thing you end up doing is you don't tell them the truth. So that's what's happening to you. When you meet your prospects, realize that whatever's coming out of their mouth isn't the full picture or the truth. They're holding back. They don't want you to know how much they need what you have. Why would they? You're taught, don't ever let the salesman know you need it. So we all have a guarded wall up. The second thing is I'm going to try and pump you for information because that's what mum and dad did. Do you do this? Do you do that? How long have you done it? What would it cost? How long would it take? Who have you worked with? Why should I work with you? We were trained to ask those types of questions. And we also know that every salesman will answer them because all salesmen have been trained to be professional and that you should give good, clear, concise answers. Go in prepared. Be ready to answer their questions. What we didn't realize is that as human beings, we were all programmed from when we were born to answer a question. People got to help that. It's a habit. I know this. So even a CEO of BP, no matter how good he'll answer questions if he's asked them because his mum always raised him. If you get asked a question, you have to answer. Think about it. Every question you get asked, you probably answer without thinking. Doesn't matter what it is. How was your day? Oh, it was good. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah, I do. Yeah, where are you going? You never had a choice as a kid to not answer. In fact, if you didn't answer, you got a clip round the ear. Yeah? So your whole life, you were programmed. You must answer a question. So this is why we do it as prospects. We ask loads of questions because we know the salesman can't help but answer. So I flip that. I don't answer questions. I ask them. So if they ask me a question and I flip it back, they have to answer because the programming kicks in. So it's a very powerful skill. So they pump you for information. Now I know once this little bit of the conversation comes to an end, you, Mr. Salesman, are going to try and close me. First, you come and do a little bonding. Oh, is that a picture of a daughter? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we used to go skiing at that ski resort. So you do that cheesy, bloody trying to bond, right? Or did you see the rugby or whatever, yeah? And then you crack on with the body of the meeting. It's you normally doing some dog and pony show and the prospect asking questions, you doing a bit of find, right? And now the meeting's going well. They're asking great questions. And you're thinking, this is great. They're asking really good questions. If your prospect is asking you really good questions, you're in trouble because it means they're educated. And it means they're probably using you as a free consultant because they see you as nothing but a biological Google. Yeah. They're allowed to waste your time. They're allowed to string you along. They don't care. Yeah. Oh, I don't need the sale. Yeah. So they use you. So they know there's a point in the meeting where it starts to come to that natural crescendo. And at this point, the salesman's going to try and close me. I know it. I'm waiting for it. I'm ready. Yeah. So, Mr. Prospect. So that's basically what we do, and this is how we can help. How would you like to move this forward? This is when I come up with my stalls, objections, or higher authority. I've got my get out of jail free clause. I've got my I'm not going to commit now moment. So I said, okay, well, look, I appreciate you coming in. I've enjoyed meeting with you guys. Look, if it were up to me, I'd want to move forwards today, but I've actually got to go run this by. And then you suddenly go, oh, I didn't know there was anyone else involved in this because when we spoke on the phone, you said you're the decision maker. Oh, yeah, ultimately I'll sign it off, but I'm not going to do it without. Oh, so they've got to get out. Yeah. So there's always higher authority. Got to run this by my psychiatrist, my serobologist, my lawyer, my doctor, my accountant. There's always some other person. Or if they don't do that, they come up with an objection, normally in the form of questions. Well, we met with ABC Company, and they're very similar to you, but they're coming considerably cheaper. Well, what makes you different? Well, why? So they go down. This is a way of putting you to squirm. Yeah. And it's elongated. Or they come up with a stall. Look, guys, this is great. It's definitely something we want to move forwards. Look, our budgets won't be set, though, until probably October. So this is something we'll be revisiting. So they give you one of those. Now, at this point, you've lost it. This is, and you got to sit there and go, no. Yeah, they do this because you can't show any annoyance, because you got to let the prospect's got to like you by the end of this, right? Because you got to leave this meeting being liked. That's very, very important. In fact, that's the main reason I'm here, is for you to tell me how much you love what I do. Yeah, who cares if my kids are starving? Yeah, I'm like. And now what do? Particularly in the world of B2B, or even B2C, they say they ask you to do something for them, and it's always, you couldn't send me a quote, you couldn't send me a proposal, you couldn't just send me top line thoughts, and absolutely, no worries, happy to do that. I call it document your stupidity. Yeah. So what you're going to do now is, I'm going to go away and for free set aside some time to put into writing everything we've just discussed to send to you. Yeah, pretty much. And then you send it to them, and 5 things happen. Number 1, they disappear. That's the top thing. They just ghost you. They go. They're gone. Can't get a hold of them. Oh, I love this. So this is what a salesman does. They have a meeting on a Wednesday, and this is how their life is. Have the meeting on the Wednesday, and it ends like that. They've got to send a proposal. So you get back to the office, and your boss says, "So how was it?" "Oh yeah, it's a good meeting. Yeah, really good." "Why?" "Well, he liked us. I got a feeling he liked us. He asked great questions. There's definitely a need there." "Okay, so what now?" "He needs a proposal." "Just okay, fine, get it over." They set aside, they write up their proposal. They send it over by email. They send it Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday. It's too soon to chase. This is what's going through their brain. I can't chase because I only sent it yesterday. They look too keen. Gets to Friday, you think, should I do anything? No. I'll sit on it. Get round to Monday. Don't want to call them Monday morning. That looks, it's like Monday afternoon. You just drop that. Just touching base email. Just wanted to see if you got the proposal. It's pathetic, right? It's like, for some reason, email didn't work. Yeah. So they send that email. Now, and then what happens? Nothing. They get no reply. And so they wait till Tuesday, no reply. Wednesday, see, now who's thinking it? No one else other than the salesman is thinking about this proposal. The other guy probably hasn't even read it. He just needed some way to get rid of you. Yeah, this will get rid of the salesman. I've got what I wanted. He answered the questions I asked. He actually confirmed what we were already thinking of doing. So thank you. Yeah. And you are reduced to vermin. And I say this to salesmen. How many of you have tried calling at odd times to get back to a prospect that is hiding? They all go, yeah. How many of you tried calling from a different phone number so they don't know it's you? Yes. It's just not pathetic. Look at your life. You are running around in the gutter trying to get back into somebody's life. And this is what I bet if you're a business owner, you'll say, yes, that is what we experience. Yeah. It's all your fault because of the way you behave. You let the buyer dictate the whole process, and you let it happen because as they did all of those things to you, your mum whispered in your ear, like this guy, because that's exactly how I raised you to buy. He wants to sleep on it. He wants to get his options. He's exactly, be nice to this guy because he was raised well. And you're screwed, right? Because you're 35 years old running a business and you're still taking your mum to work. And this is why they fail. But you do enough of this, someone will buy. And because most salespeople or small business owners are like junkies whose life is addicted to hopium, as I call it, because that's what it's all about, hope. It didn't start, but maybe this time. You do 10 of these, somebody buys. And once you get that fix, You get that sale and, you forget how hard it was to get that fix. And as soon as that fix wears off, you go right back to doing it again.
Yeah.
And that's the life of a salesman. And they do that. They just get slightly better at presenting that period. And maybe they can reduce from 10 meetings to get that one maybe down to 8 or 6. But that's how they spend their life. Yeah. And it's pathetic. It's stupid. It gives all the power to the prospect because they're too chickens to say, hold up. You need me, I don't need you. Because they've always been taught, remember, the man with the gold makes the rules. The man with the money is in charge. No, money's useless if no one will take it. And if I refuse to take your money, if I refuse to fix your problem, you're screwed, not me. But they don't think like that. Well, we got competition. You just got to get better at letting the prospect realize you're the one to go with then. But you don't drop your pants or you don't act like an idiot. This is why people hate me, because they know I'm right. But to change is bloody hard.
Yeah. And I think in small business, particularly in early days and as they're growing, it's, the reality is they'd sell to anyone with a pulse, right? So sort of to your point, there's that lack of confidence to flip it and not be dictated by the customer.
That's it. And so, like you said, would you hire a lawyer or a surgeon who had the same outlook?
No.
No, they're professions. We're called a profession, but we don't act like one. We act like carpetbaggers. We act like little Oliver Twist with a little begging bowl. Please, please, please. Can we just have a little bit of what you got? Rather than acting like the professionals. You need me, I don't need you. Yes, we've got competition. I get that. But I also know we're better than the competition because we charge more and we have lots of customers who are willing to pay us what we charge. So I know what we do is right and I know we're worth our value. You need to convince me why I should help you. I'm not here to prove to you that what our company does works. We know it fucking works because we built a business around it. You need to convince me why I should help you. That is a mindset. That is very hard for people to do because they just want to get money over the line. They just want to hit a certain target and they don't care how they get it. Just get it over the line. Get it over the line. Anyone can do that, but that's not skilled. Yeah. So
that's it's interesting. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Put it that way.
Are you struggling to find time to work on your business? Or is your health and relationships out of balance? Lost confidence, or are your weeks filled with fear? Our free 10-day Transform Your Performance online course shows you how to unlock at least 5 hours a week. We start with the secret to guaranteed success, and with over 100 lessons and free tools, you will become more focused, productive, and feel more in control of your business, health, and relationships. GrowSmallBusiness.com.
Have you ever heard an objection so bizarre that it sort of made you stop and think, is this for real?
So bizarre. I had one once which did amuse the heck out of me. Because I'd not had it before and I had to deal with it in the moment. I had met with a software company, the CEO. It went well. We get to the end of it and he said, okay, Benjamin, I want to move forwards with you. I want to start training. Let's do it. I said, okay, so the next step is I'll send you my invoice once you've paid my invoice because I always get paid up front. If you're not getting paid up front, folks, you're doing something wrong. You don't need credit control if you control the credit yourself. And that is you don't do anything for free up front. Now, most people in sales say, well, that's not how our customers work. No, 99% of your time, your prospect pay for stuff up front. You go to McDonald's and you say, can I try the burger? And if I like it, I'll pay you afterwards. A kid with zits on his face will have more authority to tell you to fuck off than you do selling a sophisticated bit of equipment, right? You go to the cinema tonight, say to the girl at the counter, I'll pay you on the way out if I like the film. She'll say, fuck off, sir. There's other people in line. Yeah, so teenagers have more authority and strength than people in suits and ties on 60K. Yeah, why? Because they make it clear. No, we're not here to sell to you. We're here to educate you on how you buy from us. Yeah. So you buy our way. We don't sell to you your way. So if you're not getting paid up front, you're screwing up, right? Most people are used to paying for virtually everything up front. It's only when it gets sophisticated selling that suddenly you can't pay up front. So I always get paid up front. I don't get paid, I don't turn up. Simple as that. I'm not chasing an invoice. So he said to me, I hadn't heard this. He goes, we have 60-day payment terms. I said, what does that mean? He goes, if you send us an invoice, we will pay it in 60 days. I said, that's a problem. I said, because my policy is 100% upfront. See, I can have a policy too, even though I'm one man band. You can't. These companies always, it's company policy. Well, I'm a company too by law, so I have a policy too, right? So now we've got competing policies. Now, none of these came down with Moses from Mount Sinai. So they're not the 11th commandments. They're not chiseled in stone. So these policies can be ignored. So he looks at me and goes, well, that's the policy, Benjamin. Unfortunately, I can't get around it. I said, and you can't see any way around it? I go, no. I go, well, fine. I said, I'll tell you what, why don't we do this then? I said, I don't have a problem with this. I'll send you an invoice and we can start the training in 61 days. He said, no, I want the training to start sooner. I said, I want to be paid sooner. And he just looked at me and goes, I send the invoice. And he paid it. And then I said, what, is this a test? Was this a test? Are you testing me? He said, no, I'm being serious. I go, that's a shame, because if this was a test, that would have been bloody brilliant. Because if I buckled, I wouldn't have hired me.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get that all the time. People are like, do you discount? Well, if I said yes, literally, I could show you an email. I had it the other day. Company owner said, no, Benjamin, it's too expensive. I don't want to spend that amount for a day's training. I said, okay, can I ask you a question? How much would you be comfortable with? And he came back with a figure. I said, okay, if I was willing to do it for that, would you hire me? He comes back, yes. And then I went back with, in that case, I'm going to say no. I don't want to work with you. If you would hire a sales trainer that's willing to discount by that much to come and work with you, you have the wrong mindset to be in business. I said, you're going to find a sales trainer at that rate, but I'm out. See, I can say no as well. Remember that, folks. I'm not in this to get yeses. I'm actually in it for the no's, because once I get the no's out of the way, the yeses come a lot faster. So that's an example. Yeah, it's so, yeah, that's why I love what I do. The hardest thing for me in a salesman is try not to laugh, because I know what's going on.
Yeah.
The prospect does it. Yeah. So you can try anything on with it. It ain't going to work. But the thing is, CEOs of it, they love it. A lot of them love it. I wish my guys could do what you do. Well, that's what you're going to pay me for.
Exactly.
And it takes guts and it takes balls. And I don't mind walking away from £30,000. If my bill's 35, you want to give me 30, I'm walking. Yeah, but it's 30. No, it's the principle of the matter. If they can afford 30, they can afford 35. They're trying it on, and I ain't buckling. Yeah, it's just the way I am.
and that that does take confidence, right? And like you say, it is a mindset thing.
It is a mindset thing, and it comes back to prospecting, because you can only do this when you're meeting more people you need to sell to, and most people don't prospect enough, so they're only in front of enough people, and they need all of them to close. So then they can never, ever, 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 ever get better, because they're permanently in a state of fear of losing. They're trapped. It's like a domestic abusive relationship. Oh, they promise I'll be different. They never are. Get out. Get out. I love them, though. And then shut up whining about how miserable your life is.
Dear. Look, I could chat all night with you, Benjamin. It's a great discussion. There's some great insights, I think, for small business owners.
I hope so. I like small business owners, because they're willing to change if they see it.
Yeah.
And they get it. And everything I've said, they've experienced, and they know it. The biggest fear is, but if I do it differently, I could lose. So fear, that's it. And this is why, when I work with people, say, when you start doing this, you're going to take a hit when you first start. You're coming off of hopium. There's a bit of cold turkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of pain. But the other side, if you get through the cold turkey, you'll never look back.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up, what's one thing you'd recommend a small business owner does tomorrow from listening to this chat?
The greatest thing you need to do is, if you own a small business, the problem you have is you love this business. This is your firstborn child. You're passionate about it. You live and breathe it. To everybody else, you're just another fucking business. You need to let go of your emotional attachment. Now, I know that's hard, but you are so emotionally attached to what you do that when you go out, you let prospects treat you like shit, because you're emotionally attached to the outcome. Yeah. And so when people ask you tough or challenging questions, you may feel slightly annoyed. Who are they to chat? You just got to remember, you are just another fucking business. There are 30 other companies maybe that do something similar to you, or there are another five. It doesn't matter unless you're so unique and amazing, which most of you are not. You're just another business. You're just another salesman. You're just another guy and they're trying to get their money. Stop acting like you are important, because you're not. The moment you get out of your own way, the moment you let your ego and pride and your emotional attachments subside and you go in and act like a lawyer, look, at the end of the day, I hate my client. I think he's a fucking loser. I do the best I can to get the best outcome for him, but I don't care what happens at the end. If he goes down, he goes down. As long as I do my job competently, whatever happens at the end, I'm satisfied with. You need to adopt the same mindset. Yeah? Your business is your client. It's not your best friend. It's not your buddy, and it's not your life. Act like it's representative. Don't be emotionally attached to it.
Yep. Very good tip to leave our chat. So, look, I really appreciate the chat. It's been very entertaining at the very least. I think some great insights, moreover, for our listeners. So, really appreciate it. And we might catch up in maybe a few months and have part 2, possibly, if you're interested.
I'm always willing to do a podcast. It's not a problem.
Especially with long-distance relation, eh?
Yeah. So if people want to find me, LinkedIn, easy. YouTube, I got a YouTube channel, UK's most hated sales trainer. Yeah. And of course, I sell all my courses online. You can find that too. It's all advertised on YouTube. So yeah, if you want to reach out, don't have a chat, just do. I charge for consult calls too. Do you know how you eliminate tire kickers? You make them pay to talk to you.
Exactly. Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah. So do that too. Stop giving anything away for free. That would be the next tip I'd give you. Stop doing anything for free.
Yep.
Because it's not helping you. I don't care if your competition do it. There's a reason you should stop, especially if your competition's doing it.
Yep. No, good one. And we'll put those in the show notes so people can find you easily.
Oh, no worries.
So I appreciate it again, mate. All the best.
Yeah, cheers, Mick.
We'd greatly appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to leave our podcast a review on iTunes. If you don't have an account, simply follow us on Spotify. You'll help other small business owners find the cast and valuable content our guests share.